On Tuesday at City Hall's Statutory Council meeting, Mayor Patricia Church-Green was ready to ask full council's approval to institute container fees of $8,000 to $10,000 for 20-foot, 40 and 45-foot containers entering and parking in the city. This proposal came as council was about to amend the city bylaws on the matter, but there was some disagreement around the horseshoe table.
Because in the law, 2801,
in the city, this
fees are $2 and $6. This bylaws is futuristic, and I'm suggesting that that be the maximum that fees be charged. And we explained to the tripartite arrangement, this is the maximum we will charge, but this is what we would recommend to be paid now.
Business people don't care about the consumers. They're into the business of making money. So they will add that on to those consumers, and at the end of the day, those persons will suffer more. So I think we gotta try to be reasonable, fair, and approach this thing with some kind of compassion. Because if we don't do that, we will seem like beasts here at the City Council.
There was also a proposal for $8,000 to $30,000 and $10,000 to $45,000 for container fees. Mayor Church-Green said it must be a united agreement and not for the council to look embarrassed at the tripartite committee discussions. $1,000 to $45,000.
It should be so placed to have starting at $8,000 to a maximum of $30,000 and starting at $10,000 to a maximum of $45,000. The face and our word of this council as mayor and town clerk should be our bond. And it's unfair that I feel very, very insulted and embarrassed to now to go back and say that while we have started our negotiations and we are in this mood. And the tripartite committee, may I remind you, is because of the container fees and the parking meter fees and all of that. The private sector, having written to the president, has asked that this committee be set up so we can deal with it and looking at all the other internal aspects of
Councillor Malcolm Ferreira has no problem with the $8,000 to $10,000 or the $45,000 proposed fees because he feels the businessmen are making millions every day.
I'm not going to get into the 30, the 45, whatever, because I'm okay with whichever way we choose to go. But the 2.5, I believe is too low. I honestly believe for a 40-foot container on the roadways, probably safety park it, damaging the city, rain come, all of this, carrying the same penalty as a car that didn't pay a $50 parking fee. I believe we should look at that one and increase it.
But Finance Committee Chairman Oscar Clark and Town Clerk Royson King said Council is waiting on the Private Sector Commission to submit a report as to how many containers entering the city per day and the contents therein so that a reasonable fee can be determined. To date, the PSC has failed to submit that list to the Tripartite Committee.
That's the reason why I'm standing here, because I want to repeat it and I want the newspapers to carry it. You don't carry anything I say. because my name is Oscar Clark. Nobody worries to carry anything I say. But I want the newspapers to carry this. They made the promise that they will make it available.
What is in the containers? What is it we have in the containers? Are these things toxic? We don't know. These things are stored for long periods of time in different areas. Citizens have a right to know. But more than that, whether or not we are talking with the business community, this council under the law has an obligation to ensure that we have regulations and bylaws in place.
In the end, Council voted to defer the amended bylaws until January and has given the PSC 30 days to submit a report to Council as to how many containers entering the city per day. Failure to do so, the Council will institute an estimated cost of $8,000 to $30,000 or $10,000 to $45,000 fee on containers entering the city. Currently, container owners are paying a temporary $5,000 a month to the City Council. Andrew Weeks reporting for Channel 2 Headline News.